Its destructive power lasted less than a minute. Entire villages were flattened. Roads and mountains cracked open. Ancient Hindu temples turned to rubble. Nepal's army and police were the first to respond, digging through collapsed houses. Even 2 months on, the destruction is haunting. In Chautara, a district capital in eastern Nepal, few buildings have been spared. Red marks the many houses that must be demolished. But even in the unstable ruins and choking dust, Nepalis have found ways to make a living, to salvage all they can from their homes.
We built.
Rebuilding is not easy or quick. The government of Nepal, in a post-disaster assessment, estimates that Nepal needs $6.6 billion to recover. Half of that is to rebuild housing. And to succeed, Nepal needs the help of civil society and international donors. Nepal needs to rebuild homes, government buildings, monasteries, temples, schools. To rebuild, first you must destroy. They started as a group of 5. Now there are more than 80 civil engineers who left their jobs to volunteer for 3 months in Nepal's villages, part of the United Nations volunteer program. They are helping to demolish close to 1,000 damaged rural buildings, like this elementary school. 29-year-old Saroj Parajuli leads the team. He worked as a site manager at a hydropower project in eastern Nepal. He found this volunteer program by surfing the internet.
And being the engineer, it is my duty to serve my nation as it is the need of the nation. This is the need of the nation at this time. I'm happy to do so.
Demolition is more complex in Kathmandu, where tall buildings are tightly sandwiched on narrow streets. Often done by hand, every brick is individually cleaned to be reused. In the Kathmandu Valley, where 97,000 houses have been destroyed, the fate of many traditional homes is unclear. They stand like cracked specters, propped up but empty. Rebuilding must focus on Nepal's poor.
This earthquake hit the poor people most heavily, particularly those who are in rural areas. So it's very important for the reconstruction programs to be inclusive and poor-friendly.
These are the tens of thousands of earthquake homeless whose tents line the rivers of Kathmandu and fill its open spaces. These are the villagers living in temporary camps, like Maya Tapa Chetri. She was buried in her house with her 2 sons. Maya and her family sing of the coming rains. They hope one day to go back home. Monsoon rains bring life. The rice planting season is just beginning, but the rains will also bring more destruction. In Nepal, the hardest hit villages perch on vertical mountainsides. The earthquake has cracked open hillsides, triggering landslides that sever roads. Helicopters are racing against time and weather to bring in enough corrugated iron sheeting and basic supplies to Nepal's poorest. These young Buddhist monks from a village cut off by dozens of landslides are among the lucky ones. They were evacuated safely. A month after the earthquake, the government reopened schools, a much-needed effort at returning traumatized children and teachers to the normal rhythms of life.
Attention! Stand still! Attention!
In the village of Irku, the school is badly damaged. Just below it, 300 students are now in 9 tents. The day starts with a moment of silence for the quake victims. "14-year-old Sumani Shrestha lost 2 friends.
अहिले अब पहिला अब घरमा एक्लै बसेको बस्दाखेरि अलि डर डर लागे जस्तो हुन्थ्यो अब अहिले साथीहरु सबैसँग घुलमिल हुन पाउँदाखेरि अलि हल्का जस्तो लाग्यो म चाहिँ ठुलो भएपछि के गरी राम्रो मान्छे बनेर एउटा असल मान्छे बनेर यो समाजको सेवा गर्नेतिर चाहिँ लाग्छ।
Words to remember for this baby girl, born in a cornfield at 1 a.m. April 26th, during the first terrifying aftershocks. Even in the rubble, there is time for laughter, a message that Nepal can and will rebuild better. It's a message that Saroj Parajuli and his band of volunteers reinforce every time they tear down another shaky structure. For all that they have suffered, the people of Nepal are stronger and more united. They know they can and will rebuild a stronger Nepal.